All right, Mike, we're live on Workplace.
Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, Century 21. We are here in what I would call almost one of the busiest markets I've ever seen. And we've got a full plate for you today, just talking about some of the amazing accomplishments, what's happening in the industry, and a lot of other great material. But I also want to say one of the best parts about today's session, we'll be talking about what I consider the elephant in the room, right? Getting listings. And so we have Pat Provost from Northern California and Kayla Levon from the Tennessee marketplace to talk a little bit about how their company is going after listings and doing an amazing job securing them with a listings focused organization. So that's going to be really exciting coming up with Brian Ellington moderating that panel. So, I don't know if anybody was able to get on. Just last week, Ryan Schneider hosted Doug Duncan from Fannie Mae, and he dubbed last year the year of the virus and 2021 the year of the vaccine. So Fannie gave some really amazing statistics and talked about the fundamentals. But the great part about it is that we're projecting 6 to 7% growth in the economy, which is the highest levels that we've seen since 1983. And I think talking with a lot of brokers and agents out there, we all know the economy is accelerating. It's been propped up, as many know, by a lot of stimulus dollars. In fact, I was just talking with one broker earlier today about all of the help wanted in the marketplace in all segments of industries. And so it's exciting to see our economy pushing forward. And obviously, even Doug said this, the bond markets are trying to figure out inflation. But for the most part, in our industry, we're headed in a very positive direction, right? We've seen mortgage rates, which are hovering right at about 3%. And whether you listen to Fannie or NAR, they don't expect mortgage rates to go much past 3.2 or 3.4 within the end of 2021, which really puts affordability in a strong spot. Of course, we have to deal with prices, right? But again, on the mortgage rate front, they're seeing that mortgage rates are not going to go even further north of 3.7 or 3.8 until at least the end of 2022. So again, I think we have a really good, what I keep calling people, we're in a rapid sprint right now, but I think we're going to level off into what I would call a marathon in the real estate housing market. And so, last year we saw the second most homes sold in this country dating back to 2005. And this year, we are on pace for 6 million homes, up 12% year over year. But you really can't even compare this year to last year, right? Because of the abnormality of the pandemic that we had here in the country and what happened in March, April, May. We all know that roller coaster story. But the truth of the matter is, and I try to remind everybody about this, is that we are not only up over 2020 from a listings open and sold standpoint, we're up over 2019 as well. And I probably bet up over 2018 from a listing standpoint. And the truth of the matter is that deals are getting done and we are moving our local economies forward through selling real estate and delivering the dream of home ownership. So first quarter of 2021, the median price rose nearly in every region, 183 of them that NAR records and tracks, but 90% of them were up double digits. So the single family median price was up 16% in Q1 over 2020, which is the largest increase. It was up 16%, the largest increase since 1968. And so I always say this, I know that we talk about a lot of our buyer representatives getting frustrated and spending and working maybe double or triple the amount of time, having frustrated buyers who are putting in multiple offers on multiple properties, driving folks around, putting gas in their car and not getting deals done. But we got to remember that when they do get deals done, that they're getting paid at a higher rate, right? And so I know that frustration sets in. It's our job as leaders to make sure that they don't get too frustrated before the payoff occurs. And if they're out there delivering that extraordinary experience, which I know they are, that payoff will soon occur. So, we've got this whole phenomenon of teleworking, people being able to do more from their homes with home gyms and home schools. We also have this flight to better weather and to better taxes. But I got to tell you, some of these marketplaces that are up double digits, more than we've seen in years, like 27, 28, 30%, are marketplaces like Youngstown, Ohio, Elmira, New York, Sherman, Texas, right? The secondary and tertiary markets that now millennials and younger generations are moving to. And when I say that, remember there are 160 million millennials and Gen Zers in the queue becoming home buyers. And literally the later millennials who are turning 40 are becoming home sellers and move up buyers. And so Doug Duncan said this, which is really interesting. And I thought it's something worth mentioning, that our largest pool of buyers right now by far are millennials. It's 37% of the buyer market right now. And they're using agents 90% of the time. So whether you talk about iBuying or technology or SPACs or all these, other companies that like to cloud our space and talk about, we are at all-time highs with agent usage, even higher than the 80s and 90s as it relates to the main buyer population. And believe it or not, the millennial subset won't peak out for another 4 years as the median age of first-time home buyers. So to say that, we still have that long marathon sprint that I think we're in for over the coming months and the coming weeks. And, we have obviously a ton of amazing momentum from a Century 21 brand. And it's because everything that you guys are doing every single day as leaders out on the front line. We had an extraordinary year in 2020. Greg's going to talk a little bit about the market share increases and inflections we've seen a little bit later on in the program. But if you don't know, we had double-digit agent count growth last year and continue to grow the system through new companies coming on board and renewing our existing brokers who fit our mission and vision in the local marketplace. For 22 straight years, again, we are the most respected and recognized brand in the industry. And just a month or so ago, we were awarded by Entrepreneur Magazine as the fastest growing franchise, not just in the industry, but in business, period. And so I just want to congratulate everybody for what you're doing on the growth side of the equation in order to boost the Century 21 brand in your local marketplace. And as you guys know, this is our 50th. I say it every year. 2021 is our year. On July 28th of this year, we will be celebrating our quote unquote birthday. So July 28th, look for a fun virtual event that you can use at your sales meetings to really celebrate the brand in your company, in your local marketplace. And oh, by the way, we are getting back to in-person events. So if you don't know, in June, we have our 2100 Club celebrating the very best of the best in the Century 21 system. In July, we will be holding FLA 21 down in Naples, Florida. For any of you across the country who want to be part of that, feel free to reach out to us and get registered for that event. It's almost going to be a mini 121. And of course, in November in Hawaii, in the 50th state, for our 50th birthday, we will be holding our top agent and leadership event, celebrating everybody across the system, including every one of the leaders. And we hope to see every one of you guys there. So we've got a lot to talk about from a programmatic perspective. I cannot wait to hear from Kayla and Pat about driving listings inside our companies, because as we know right now, listings are driving the marketplace and we've got to focus our sales professionals there. So look forward to that. And with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Kara to talk about some of our fun, exciting technology and marketing platforms.
Hey, Century 21, it's Kara, and it's a beautiful day in the Northeast, so I thought I'd take the office outside. Anyway, I hope you're all enjoying some spring weather no matter where you are. We have so many exciting things going on from a marketing and technology standpoint. I wanted to give you a few quick updates. First of all, if you haven't heard, we have engaged with MoxieWorks for their entire technology suite. So soon you're all going to be able to utilize the entire Moxie suite of products for your agents to utilize. It gives you a super simple integrated solution for their entire suite of products. That's Moxie Engage, Moxie Present, Moxie Impress, Moxie Talent, and all of the broker and agent websites. So to give you a little bit of an idea of what this means, agents who've used Moxie Present have seen a 15% increase in production, and they've earned double what they used to. So really great, best-in-class products and technology that we're bringing to all of you at no cost. And we're really happy to announce that we just launched Group Zero. Group Zero was with a group of brokers who were already engaged with Moxie on some form. We have 4 C21 companies involved in Group Zero. And then next quarter, we'll be launching with our early access companies, which is an invitation-only set of companies. And then in fourth quarter, open enrollment will open up. So if you're interested, you will be able to apply for open enrollment starting in fourth quarter. So more to come, but we're really excited about being able to bring this to you because it is really a simple integrated solution that really will bring value to your agents from Century 21. We also, in early April, launched the Century 21 Tracker. The tracker is all about helping solve that pain point that we always hear from consumers. I don't hear enough from my agent. I don't know what's going on from offer to close. So the tracker is really to help simplify that customer experience for home buyers and sellers and to really connect Century 21 agents to their buyers and sellers throughout the entire process and journey of buying and selling a home. We've just added a recorded training video, which is available on 21 Online, so you can go to that. And we've seen nearly 1,000 downloads so far and about 150 active instances of the tracker. So if you haven't downloaded it and you're not utilizing it with your customers, we highly encourage you to do this because we've gotten some really great initial feedback. And I don't know if you've heard Mike say this is our year, and that's because it's our 50th. So we've got our 50th anniversary content hub, and we've got our 50 realities of real estate content that's out there and available for you to use. You can download that from the brand studio. We've got shareable assets, and we have our 50 realities of real estate where we've told stories of our Century 21 agents and how they deliver extraordinary experiences to their customers throughout the years. So if you haven't started downloading that content and sharing it, we highly encourage you to engage in that as part of our 50th. Also, we just launched the second season of the Relentless podcast. So we're in season 2. We launched our first episode, which we've already seen over 26,000 downloads, and our second episode is just live within the last few days. What's really cool about our podcast this year is we're working on creating a community environment with the podcast. So what we want to do is make sure and connect with any of you who have podcasts or video content in your local markets and ladder it up to the overall nationwide Relentless podcast so we can get that community effort and really engage with all of you on your local efforts. Our goal is to have at least one podcast in every single major market from Century 21 and really own those airwaves. So far, from a community standpoint, we've got Greg Harrelson's Level Up. We've got Michael and Matthew Atwood's Realty Brothers, and also Rhett Harmon's Random to Real Estate YouTube channel within the community aspect. So if you've got a podcast out there that you're working on in your local market, please reach out to us so we can include it in the overall Relentless efforts. And there's also dollars behind that so we can help promote your podcast in your local markets, and we all do better to reach your customers in your local markets as a community versus everyone trying to do it just on their own in their local market. So please let us know. You can reach out to us and we'll get it connected into the Relentless podcast. And last but not least, hopefully you've been seeing our social content that we send out on a weekly basis. So you have new content to post every single week, and we can all work together to really shout the Century 21 story and make sure that we're helping connect you with your local customers and your agents with your local customers in every single one of your markets, because we want to make sure that we're your partner for that important local marketing activity. So that's going out consistently and new each week, so you've got that content in your markets and you don't have to think about it. And you also have a variety of ways to download that. You don't have to log into Brand Studio if you don't want to. We're trying to make it really easy for you to be able to activate that. So that's just a little bit of what's going on from a marketing and tech standpoint. More to come, but lots happening in this year of Century 21 for our 50th. Back over to Greg and Mike. Thanks, everyone.